Jana, do you remember when I gave you this book, The Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, it was super early in our relationship. I think maybe we had been dating for 6 months. But what I remember more than the book was the note.
Oh, that's right, the note. The note that I wrote with this book about us someday reading this book together to our kids.
Yeah, and that was 25 years ago.
It was a bold move, wasn't it?
It was.
It seemed like a really sweet idea at the time, to write this note about like, oh, someday we'll read this to our kids. And maybe it was sweet, but it was also a little creepy too. Because, like you said, we were 18, 19 years old. We'd only been dating for like maybe 6 months. And, if I think back and I think about the note and, wanting to read this book to our kids, I had this sort of idealized idea of what parenting would be like. As we read it together, we would be on the couch together and they would absolutely love it.
So in some ways, it did come true. I mean, we did go on to have 2 kids, and we did go on to read that book to our kids.
That's true, and I'm grateful for your help in making that dream that I had a reality. I notice in looking at this book that the corners are a little tattered on it. There's marker or something on the cover of it. There are some stains on, I don't know what it is actually, on the pages of the book. The book has seen some use. It's not glossy anymore. And I don't think our dreams for parenting are glossy anymore. We've been parenting together now for 16 years. And some of the glossiness of parenting has worn off.
There's this tension we have between this idealized vision of parenting and the reality, the day in, day out reality of being in relationship with one another.
Yeah, there's definitely a tension between sort of the amazing aspects of parenting and the difficult aspects of parenting as well. And I think of the book Winnie the Pooh and reading it to our kids, and yes, we did read it together with our kids, but sometimes we didn't because we were too tired. And, we just got the kids to bed as quickly as we could. There were other times where, we didn't read because one of the kids was sick and we were cleaning up vomit or wiping running noses or whatever it might have been. And then there are other times where, maybe one of us had a meeting or one of us was doing chores around the house or going and working out, and just one of us was sitting there on the couch reading to our kids.
So the reality of parenting is that it's difficult to do well.
It is.
We live in this tension. We live in this tension between our ideals and what we think it could be or even should be, and then what it actually looks like day to day. It's so hard to have this grand vision and then to get stuck in the details of the day to day and trying to figure it out together. So that brings us to our first chat question. Where have you experienced this gap between reality and the ideal? And maybe it's in parenting, or maybe it's in something else.